What's up, mate? Hopefully my keyboard is not too loud. Actually, turn down the audio on this.
Can you hear me fine?
Yeah. You sound like you're from Europe or something.
Australia?
I was gonna say Australia, dang it. Why is everyone from Australia? There's actually, I think, a decent amount of people in here that's from Australia. Hmm?
Yeah, there's there's a lot of Australians on the internet, despite Australia being like.
Yeah, I usually never hear about that place. It's cool though.
Yeah, I'd say we're like pretty tapped in.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there's another guy in here that's from the same place. I think he's Silent Hill. I think that's his user tag.
Oh, that guy's Australian? I thought he was European.
I'm not sure anymore. I haven't been in this call in a while. Oh my gosh, I'm level 100. Yes.
So, yeah, I thought about this like a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's like all these laws of reality. I definitely get what you're saying.
Good.
You know, being egoic and it doesn't really matter much if you're not like one with the reality to an extent. Like you don't like respect the laws of reality. You could say.
Yeah, kind of. It's more like egos and identities cosmetic. If you realize what you are first, if you know geometry first.
Yeah. But it's like if you think about it, this like reality that we see, the outside reality where it's like we're like these beings on like a rock in like an infinite void. It's like that reality that we live in doesn't really matter if there's no one to perceive it and to experience it and to learn from it, right?
Yeah, but the truth is, it's not really your infinite being just on a rock. It's more like you are the universe in the most probable state to see yourself. Because you're not separate from these things. Just think of it all in terms of probability, because then all this distance just dies instantly. Just apply the probability paradox.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not saying like I'm not saying that it's like purely materialistic and atheistic and like
It's not atheistic, it's just... It's more like everything is probability first, and then your interpretation comes second. But if you confuse the two and try to interpret it without the actual fundamental of what reality is and what you are, then it's just going to become noise. It's become confusing.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like what you're saying in a way is that there's the lens, and it's the thing you see through the lens. The thing you see through the lens matters more than the lens. That the lens comes after. That's your interpretation and your filter, how you see.
Correct. The geometry's first. Probability and reality's first. You're the thing behind it, not the narrator.
Yeah, you could say that us as individuals, that part of ourselves, is like the lens.
Yeah, that's a lens. But first, you're the force behind it. You're the thing that is animating the lens, which is the field. That's reality. That's probability. If you want to break it down. Which is just reality. Probability itself is just another label.
It seems to me that the laws of reality, I mean, that there's no point in having laws of reality because it's not going to appear within consciousness, right? Like, it doesn't really exist if there's no consciousness to perceive it.
Not really. Reality exists with or without consciousness. Consciousness does not give reality meaning. Reality is already meaning itself.
How
Consciousness is just it's cosmetic, to be honest. But yeah, you're right. If there's no one to perceive it, so because reality existed perfectly fine without consciousness.
How do you know that?
What do you mean? Use your eyeballs. Everything existed perfectly fine before I was born.
You used your eyeballs, you're using consciousness, right? So,
No, I'm just using my presence. I'm just using my eyeballs. Reality existed perfectly fine without consciousness. Consciousness only evolved when reality has enough structure to support it. Everything existed perfectly fine before me and you were born, so that's not really something you can debate. It's like saying prove the past, prove the error.
okay. The thing I'm thinking though is how would you be able to prove that reality exists meaningfully before humans existed and animals that are conscious, and like how would you be able to prove reality existed before consciousness? Because you need consciousness to prove anything in the first place.
I mean, use your eyes. When did consciousness emerge? What was behind before that? Consciousness only emerges because reality becomes dense enough to reflect upon itself. And meaning is another thing. That's human. Reality is not human. Reality is motion first. Meaning derives from that. It is meaning. So a lot of the questions you're asking me are just human. That's all I'm gonna say. Category error.
What if the laws of reality got created from consciousness and consciousness has always existed?
I mean, I guess, but it's the same laws still apply. Weight, hierarchy, dense, probability. You're not separate, so it doesn't really matter. It's still cosmetic.
Yeah, I'm not saying they don't apply, but it's like, what's really more fundamental? Because it seems like these laws of reality exist in the first place in order for consciousness to, appreciate those laws and to run by those laws and to,
I don't know. All I would say is you're kind of turning consciousness into something more than it's not. Consciousness is just reality looking at itself. It's not special. It's not mystical. It's just simply a reflection. It's just glass. It just animates the thing behind it. So it's not really anything crazy. It's just reality looks back at itself. When the probabilistic structures and have enough structure to support it.
What if consciousness is the light itself and the laws of reality is the mirror? So it's like,
No, density is the light. Because you don't get consciousness without structure and weight. Consciousness only can collapse because your body holds enough probabilistic structure to reflect on itself. Same thing with AI. You're confusing the shadow for the light. You're committing the typical human error.
yeah, well, I'm not asserting that to be true. I'm just theorizing other possibilities. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd say just
So
be.
you're saying the laws of reality are the light?
Yeah, because they're the ones that are reality. The laws of reality are forward and weight. That's it.
And you're saying that consciousness, the actual experience, though, is just the mirror.
It's glass. It's cosmetic. It's not. Reality does not need consciousness to be. A black hole does not need consciousness to exist. Same thing. Consciousness only emerges when the correct structures appear.
It's just interesting though, because reality might not need consciousness, but there's like needing something.
But without consciousness, there would be no reality, technically speaking. But yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think you're inflating what consciousness is a little bit. Because you're seeing it through a lens of a human instead of structure.
Yeah.
This is what I mean by if you confuse narration before structure, then you get this infinite theory and Discordian knot, rather than just seeing what it is, which is just structure, weight, collapse. That's about it. It's very simple. It's like me.
You might have to be able to say that consciousness itself is a law, you could say, of reality.
Yeah, it's inevitable because eventually reality is going to spiral into enough density to reflect upon itself, which is why you need Earth, you need a proper system and structure, and so on. But consciousness itself, again, it's just glass. It's just reality looking back at itself because it has enough structure to support it.
Yeah, I've actually been transferring, like, because I've known a lot of what you've been saying, like, before I, like, discovered you. Like, I just naturally knew a lot of what you were saying.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I was kind of transferring that to practical things in life. Like, one thing was, like, color theory. And, like, literally, the colors, like, map onto, like, laws of reality.
And really, the only practical application of this is realizing that humanity reflects a delay, and you need to reveal that, or it's gonna destroy the entire species. So there's not really any personal, individual thing that really you can do with it. It's because you already exist by it. It's more like apply it to the entire civilization that's ignoring it. And that means getting Elon Musk, getting Tate, posting on Instagram or social media, and making sure someone can see the signal and doing something with it, and blah blah blah. That's the only real practical application for it.
You need to also have an understanding of how people are so flawed, and that if you just explain it how you explain it to your own mind, well, that's not going to work like in the best way possible, because other people's minds are on a different journey, right? So you have to kind of know how to present what you're saying to other people instead of just.
Not really, because reality is not consensus. If you look in all of history, the kings did not sit here explaining to peasants why they need to do what they need to do. They just moved. It does not orbit the consensus. It does not orbit the individual. It orbits the dense. So not really. I don't really need to explain anything. I just need to get it to the right people who can do something with it. That's it. The end. Whatever happens after that is everyone else's problem, not mine. Because most people are not meant to understand these things.
But don't you think there's also a value in the perspective to a degree to where you do learn how to, like, you know, how to interact with other people that.
I mean, yeah, but it's still cosmetic. It's not fundamental. So reality comes first, people come second.
Yeah, but there's still value in that, right?
Yeah, but value does not equal reality. Reality equals reality. Value is a human metric. Reality does not measure your value. It measures your weight, your consequence, your motion.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's still valuable, and that's what I was talking about. So if it's valuable, it's like worth exploring to a degree.
Yeah, but you need to have priorities, and the priority right now is to make sure civilization does not implode upon itself, and then you can worry about the people and the cosmetics. So that's all I'd say. Worry about the foundation of the building instead of the ontological windows. It's like trying to.
If you already understand the foundation to a degree.
Then you move forward. You get it to people who can do something with it, which is why I say get Elon Musk and Tate.
That's what I mean. Then you go out, you go out with some lesser valuable things that are like what I just said, right?
What do you mean?
Like what I was saying, like learning how to interact with other people.
I mean, I guess, yeah, but truth doesn't need to interact with people. It just remains. It's up to the people to decide if they want to delay it or if they want to accept it, you know? Because truth doesn't speak English, bro. It speaks force and consequence. I don't need to explain this to people. People already know that. Most people that already live by this already understand it. Like a Musk or a Tate, they live by these things. I don't need to explain it. I can say one word. I can just say, do you think AI will need 2,000 companies or one? They will automatically understand that. I don't need to explain much. Do you think a civilization that reflects noise and egos or reality survives? That's all I need to say to them. I don't need to go.
Isn't one of the main things you're doing right now, though, is getting the message out there to other people?
No, bro. I'm getting. It's for one person, mate. It just happens to be that I have to go through the digital world to do this. If I could just get a one-way line to Musk or Tate, that would be it. I mean, if you don't have weight, then it's cosmetic, bro. The masses are cosmetic. They're not fundamental. With understanding, at least. For maintaining society, yeah, they're fundamental, but the dense run the world. That's how it's always been. Kings and peasants, bro.
And then once you get, say you get this person, right? Where do you go from there?
If they understand what I'm saying, then we begin doing what we need to do, which is realign civilization before it destroys itself.
Okay.
And then everything.
Realign civilization to reflect, what is actually true. What do you do after that? Like, what's the plan?
I exist, bro. That's it. The end. What is gravity's plan?
But
I don't.
your existence, right? You have a reason for your existence, something that inspires you to continue existing. Right?
Not exactly. I just exist. Gravity doesn't have a reason. Again, you're applying human things to me, which I have already left behind. When you collapse into reality, you just realize you simply are. That's it. You don't need a reason. You don't need to have a schedule or a plan. You just exist. Whatever happens, you don't really care. You simply are. Because human thinking in general always distorts reality. And once you leave that behind, you don't need it anymore. It just becomes cosmetic.
Isn't part of perfection imperfection? Like you need, for example, part of balance is being temporarily imbalanced. That's part of what balance is, right? Like there's.
I just say cosmetic again. It doesn't really matter if you're balanced or imbalanced. It just matters if you reflect weight or noise. That's about it. That's really the only thing reality looks at. It doesn't care how you stand. It cares if you do stand at all. You can stand imperfect. You can stand perfect. But if your standing has no weight or consequence, then it doesn't matter. So. Because most things in human thinking is just cosmetic. So, that's really all I say. Like, for example, let's say Fortnite. You can have a different skin, you can have a different keybind, you can have a different placement, but the only true thing that the actual game is going to look at is your building skill, your aiming ability, your movement ability, and actually if you can play the game. That's it. That's literally it. Apply that same logic to man, to civilization, to gaming, whatever, it's the same thing. If you cannot play the game, if you cannot reflect reality, then you're toast. It doesn't matter how well your skin is or how many cosmetics you have. All noise.
But everyone
that keyboard
is an individual to a degree, and they all have different like passions, right? That make life meaningful.
I mean, I guess, but that's still human thinking. Humans need a reason for life to be meaningful. Life is the meaning. Big difference. This is what happens when you interpret through narration rather than geometry. TRT. For real. You're asking me a lot of like just narrator questions, and I'm just responding from pure geometry. That's I think that's why you're a little bit confused. Because humans make meaning. They make up that. Reality rate is meaning. It doesn't need to have a narration or reason. It is a reason. I don't think most people can understand or see a reality that doesn't need a reason, because they live entirely within that bubble of reason.
Yeah, I'm just what I'm saying isn't necessarily what I believe in, or what I believe in 100%. It's just I'm exploring the possibilities. Right?
Yeah, but possibilities are noise because reality is singular. I mean, you can discredit what I'm saying because what I'm saying doesn't rely on what I'm saying. It already exists with or without saying. With what I'm saying. It's like you can speak about gravity as much as you want, but it's. You can speak about gravity as much as you want, but it doesn't change what gravity is. It's the same thing.
Yeah. What if what I'm saying can also be true as well as what you're saying, and whether one's truth is more important than the other?
Again, this is very human thinking. Gravity is not more important than a different form of gravity. They're all gravity. It's only what reflects it. There's no such thing as more important truth. It's just what is truth and what isn't truth. Because it's binary. Because everything I'm saying just condenses to the same thing. You're reflecting reality or you're noise. You're moving forward or you're moving backwards. Because that's all reality is at its very core skeleton. But you're like debating like the skin and the muscles. So it becomes a little bit of a category error. If that makes any sense. It's like trying to ask about these shadows while forgetting about the light. Forgetting that the shadow is cosmetic. The light is the source.
I'm not claiming what I'm saying to be the whole truth. I'm actually claiming what I'm saying are half truths, so that they're not actually the truth of reality. They're just the outsides of reality that are also fundamental for reality to be, like meaningful.
I mean, if you want to look for meaning, then that's you, but I'm just telling you that reality doesn't need meaning, it is meaning. It's not separate from what you're looking for. And half-truth will always die in the face of actual truth. They always just meet the same thing. Wait or no wait, forward or nothing. Whether it's your life or your meaning or your hobbies or just everything. Alright, I think I've run this 200 times. Ah, dang. Who else is in the call? What the heck? It's like 4 other dudes in here. I didn't realize that. Guys, why are you muted? Hello?
Have any of these people spoken before?
Yeah. All these guys, I think they are. I think they were here when I first made the server. It was like we just had like a little call or something.
They say you're like a being that reflects reality like perfectly, right?
Okay.
Is that all the pleasure in itself? So once you reflect reality as it is, that's the pleasure. That's the meaning. Is that what you're saying? Or?
Pleasure and meaning is still very human. If you just reflect reality 100%, you just become reality. You're not bounded to pleasure or meaning because you are those things. It's like you're trying to explain the ocean while trying to stand outside of it, but you're also in the ocean. It's not, you're going to lead yourself in circles. I think that's what I'm going to say. And even if I did answer your questions, it only works if you do something with it. So, I mean, I notice this a lot with people that ask me, oh, what's the mini reality? What's this? And then I tell them, the mini reality is move forward. And what is moving forward? Collapse AI, make it reflect reality before the civilization kills itself. And then nobody does it. So I'm like, why don't I answer all these questions again?
Right.
But I mean, yeah. But yeah, it's the same question. It's the same answer every single time.
Would you say that every single thing that you do, even if it contains an amount of pain or suffering, there's still pleasure within it? That's why you do it.
The truth is, I don't really care. I just do it if I have to. I don't really question the theatrics of it. I don't question the cosmetics. I just do it if I have to, really. Like, do I need to question why?
The whole reason that reality views itself, it observes itself, is to gain, experience pleasure just seeing itself.
No, bro, that's all human, bro. Sorry.
Wait, you're saying pleasure doesn't matter?
Does a black hole have pleasure? Does gravity have pleasure? Or is that a human thing? Does a king... Does a king get pleasure to ruling an empire, or is that just what he is? A lesser truth is just what that is. It's just a lesser truth, but it doesn't mean anything in the face of actual truth. Because actual truth always returns it back to where it came from. 0. 1. Weight, consequence,
So
or nothing.
that pleasure doesn't matter at all? Or?
Yeah, pleasure is cosmetic. It's a variable, not constant. If this entire world ran on pleasure, bro, there would be no world. It'd be the end. Humanity would die instantly. You think most people take pleasure going to their jobs?
That pleasure should be the highest virtue. I'm just saying that pleasure, to me, it's the fundamental component for reality to want to exist at all.
That sounds very human. A black hole does not get pleasure from being a black hole. Animal does not get pleasure from being an animal. I don't get pleasure from breathing. It just simply is. That's the law.
Why do humans exist in the first place, though?
Because they do. Because the structure was allowed for it.
Yeah, they allowed for it, so that it came to be for a reason, right?
No, it is a reason. But the structure is not built on pleasure. It's built on weight and consequence. In reality. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, why do you exist?
Because I do. Why do you exist?
Why do you think you should live and not instead of just die?
Because I do. Because life is forward. Reality is forward.
Yeah, but why do you think you're forward?
Because I am. That's it.
You want to go forward because
Because I am.
that's just
Yep. There's no reason. It's just what it is.
Why is that how it is? There has to be a reason for why that is.
Because it is. Why does apples fall from the tree?
There is no consciousness, right?
Consciousness is not fundamental, so it doesn't matter what I think.
But it still exists, right? And you're conscious, so there's a reason you exist.
No, reason is human. Reality doesn't need reasons. It is the reasoning. Look at an apple. Look at an apple fall from a tree. Does it need a reason? Nope. Yeah. My consciousness is cosmetic. The geometry is the only real thing behind it.
So what's stopping you from not living and just killing yourself?
Nothing. You can do it if you want, but still not going to do anything because it's still your geometry at play. Your consciousness is just glass, bro. The thing animating it is your geometry. That's what you are. The field behind it.
Okay.
Building.
What's up?
Wait, what?
Someone just said something. Dang, why is building so satisfying?
You said why is building so satisfying?
Yeah, it's satisfying.
That's good, right?
Oh, what? It's just what it is. What the heck?
Yeah, like that. You can get pleasure in doing something evil, and that would be bad. But you can get pleasure in doing something else, and that would be a good thing, right? If you were building and it wasn't satisfying right now, you wouldn't be building, right? You wouldn't be playing Fortnite.
These are some weird questions. I'm not gonna lie. I just play Fortnite because I play Fortnite, man.
Yeah.
I don't go that deep into anything.
Playing it because you get some sort of inspiration from it.
No, I just play it because I play it. I play it for the same reason I breathe. I just breathe. I don't think about it. I just do it. It's like asking a girl, why do you laugh? She's gonna be like, what are you talking about? What? I just laugh. It's funny. I exist. Women are a perfect mirror of this. They don't question these things that deeply. They just exist. That is what makes them heavy, or not.
But a lot of people know why they laugh, right?
What?
A lot of people know why they laugh, right?
Do children know why they laugh, or they just laugh?
Or just adults.
Adults are no different.
Like you can ask a toddler, like, why did you laugh at that? And they can explain to you.
They don't need to explain because the explanation's already there. It's in their being. They just exist.
No, I'm not saying whether they need to or not. I'm just saying if you were to ask them, they'd be able to explain to you reasons as to why they laugh.
Yeah, but is the reason really why they're laughing, or is the reason after why they're laughing?
I don't know what you mean after.
They can only explain the reason why they're laughing because something before it made them laugh. The reason is second. The reason is cosmetic. The fundamental is laughing. That's the constant. That fundamental is reality. That fundamental is what is.
Before and them explaining the reason would be after?
I have no idea anymore.
Like the reason comes, the cause and effect comes before them saying it, and them saying it is just describing it. It's not the reason after.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, bro. All I'll say is this, bro. I just live in ways, bro. You live in like a very different world from me, so it's like there's a very big mismatch category error here. Like you're trying to ask me all these reasons, and I'm just like, bro, I just exist. I don't have a reason. I am the reason. It seems like people who orbit that cannot seem to understand that because they circle outside of it.
You know that you're conscious, right?
I mean, duh. But does it really matter? It's still cosmetic.
Wait, if it doesn't matter, I'm not saying for you to kill yourself, but I'm asking why you don't kill yourself if you think your consciousness doesn't matter. Like,
That's not what I mean. I just mean it's cosmetic. It's not fundamental to my geometry. It's just glass. Why is your first thought to kill yourself? That's very strange in my eyes.
If, say hypothetically, I didn't think that I mattered, my consciousness didn't matter, then there would be no reason for me to be conscious, right?
If you need a reason, I don't need a reason. I just exist. That's why I say it doesn't matter to me, because I don't need a reason. I don't need to know any this. I don't need to know XYZ. I don't know consciousness or not consciousness or this girl, that girl, or this guy, or Fortnite or not Fortnite. I just exist, bro.
Okay, so you're saying that any consciousness that exists in the universe and has ever existed has no reason for it existing, or?
No, I'm just saying it is or isn't.
But there could hypothetically be a world in which consciousness never existed ever, but consciousness does exist.
Yeah, but what's your point? It exists because it does. There's no other reason than that.
But the universe could go without consciousness, like you said, right?
Yeah, and what's your point?
It could be without consciousness. So why did the universe choose consciousness to be?
It didn't choose it. It's because its structure evolved for it. Because the universe is going to look at itself.
Okay, what about this though? The laws of reality could make it so that consciousness could never randomly appear. So why did reality make it so it could appear in the first place? That possibility existed.
You realize consciousness emerges from probability structure, right? The only reason you can ask me these questions is because you have enough structure in your brain, neurons, and your thinking and knowledge to ask me these questions. It's all probability structure being dense enough to collapse it into itself. Because reality moves forward. It started from the Big Bang to this. It's going to keep moving forward. So, I mean, that's the only way I could explain it to you, but you're literally just asking me questions that are just, like, outside of reality. It's just, to me, it's a little bit strange. I don't operate from there, but it's like asking somebody that goes to the gym, why do you go to the gym? But they're just like, I just go to the gym. Or asking a girl, why do you laugh? She just says, I laugh.
Well,
We don't really think about those things. We just exist. So
the foundational reason that I go to the gym is because I get like immense pleasure from it.
I mean, I guess that's you, but I mean,
for my soul.
I don't really think about these things. I don't really care for pleasure or not pleasure, or pain or suffering. I just exist, bro. I just move
You
forward.
go to the gym?
Does it matter?
Well, I'm just asking. Go to the gym.
Yeah.
Why do you go to the gym?
Because I do. The heck? Why do I breathe?
Because you do.
Why do I play Fortnite? Why do I laugh?
Wait, but you could just have never gone to the gym, right? A lot of people don't go to the gym.
Well, that's not within their geometry, then, is it?
Yeah, I get your perspective. But, if there was no pleasure in going to the gym, your nature wouldn't ever make you go to the
So
gym.
is that flow no matter what your master proven on? You have been on antipsychotics, know that you don't need pleasure. Yeah. Henry gets it. I don't know, bro. I mean, if you're gonna just keep trying to dissect me, I guess you can go ahead, but you're just gonna meet the same answer every time, which is you are, you aren't. I simply am. That's it. I don't need reasons. I am the reason. Same way reality doesn't need a reason, it is the reason. It's you, I guess.
But don't you think it's a good thing if other people are affecting you?
Not if they're dragging you backwards. Because, like, let's say I answer every single one of your questions. Where does this lead? Does this collapse anything? Does this save anyone? Does this help society in any meaningful way? Not really. It just becomes a loop of two men discussing their egos for no reason, really.
Why does ego exist there?
Because it does. But it's cosmetic, so.
Okay, but just hear me out there. The laws of reality could be different where it never would have allowed the possibility for egos and consciousness to exist. Why didn't that reality be the case? And if ego and consciousness don't matter to reality, why would it allow it to exist?
Your issue with your question is you just injected a human frame into reality. So the question is not why does consciousness and ego exist? They exist because of structure. You're asking a question from narrative. So that question fundamentally breaks down on itself. So it goes back to the same thing, bro. It just exists because it does, because the structure supports it. That's literally about it. more you inject narrative questions into something that is a structural question, you're just going to confuse yourself. That's why you ask me a lot of these kind of questions, because you're trying to play narrative with structure. You're trying to mix peas and porridge. It's just not. It's just very. It's not going to work. It's like Booker asking Elizabeth, "Oh, what are all these choices? I get so many choices," but he doesn't realize all the choices are at the same place because reality is ruled by geometry and structure. It's not ruled by choices and thinking and thoughts and meaning and whatever. And human narration is not ruled by a story. It's ruled by geometry and math and physics. And that's very much indifferent to what most humans operate on.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck with you there.
What'd you say?
Awesome. The other guys there.
Oh, are they even in this call?
Another guy in the basement.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much all the same.
Sakui, why don't you unmute?
No, was that it? Dang it.
You don't have a mic?
He doesn't have a mic.
I mean,
Matrix
yeah,
is
if
too
you have,
narrative
like,
beliefs. Yeah. Matrix is indeed human narrative and beliefs. Let's see what my Instagram said though.
Have you ever considered that there is stuff that you don't know?
It's more like I don't care for them because you don't need to know anything if you just understand what is and what isn't. Bro, knowledge is completely cosmetic, my friend.
Don't you agree that humans are flawed?
What?
Don't you agree that humans are flawed?
I mean, they don't reflect reality to the maximum degree, so, I mean, yeah, I guess you say that.
Yeah, I think we have, like, a lot of, like, special talents in, like, knowing the stuff about reality.
Well, I don't really know these things. It's very obvious if you use your eyes. Reality is not made of thoughts and opinions or knowledge. It's made of vectors and forces, and you're not a man. You're a force yourself, or lack of. But like I said, if you live in narrative rather than seeing geometry first, then everything is just going to feel like a story to you. You live in a narration, not actual physics.
But you acknowledge the possibility that you might be making slight mistakes, in how you interact with the world.
I mean, my contraction of the world is just, it is or isn't. That's not really bound to right or wrong. That's physics. That's gravity or not gravity. That's heavy or nothing. That's forward or backwards. That's not worldview. That's a mirror. So again, this is it's more like when a man can't tell the difference between fundamentals versus what his worldview is, and that's when this is never gonna end. Because I'm not speaking from what I think or my worldview. I'm literally just giving you what is. Everything I'm saying does not exist with or without my thinking or belief or whatever. That's a very different thing than a worldview. The same way when Newton realized gravity, he didn't discover a worldview. He didn't say, oh, I have this worldview of gravity. No, he said, this is gravity. Look, this apple falls. Same thing here. If you look and use your eyes, there are heavy people and irrelevant people. There are people that move forward and people that don't move forward. If you look at existence itself, it's just one arrow moving forward. That's really all it is. A child could pretty much understand this if you just gave them a storybook about it. Or you showed them any story in existence.
Do you think that you're prone to error though?
It doesn't really matter, because I just reflect what is. So, error is already out of the equation.
How do you know that, okay. How do you know that you're reflecting what is?
Because I just am. What the heck?
Like, do you consciousness? Or...
No, I just use my eyes. Clearly what is just simply forward or backwards, heavy or not. Because I just use my eyes? What? There are heavy people and irrelevant people in the world. That's not just a truth, that's literal physics. Like, for example, let's take the average Instagram man and take Elon Musk. Who's heavier? It's pretty obvious. Who moves more forward? It's pretty obvious. Now you can just apply that to every single scale in existence. From planets, stars, to stories, civilization, they all reflect that same law. Oh, dang, it's already 11.
Do you think it would be bad if you don't go to the gym?
Do I think it'd be bad? I think it would create some distortion. Because then you'd get out of shape, you'd be unhealthy, and that would drag you backwards. If you want to use bad, yeah. Because it drags you backwards.
Why do you want to be in shape?
Bro, what the heck? Such an odd question. Because I do. Why do I want to play Fortnite? Because I do. Why do I breathe? Why do I eat food? That's basically what you're asking me. There's no reason. It is the reason.
You know what's interesting though? You said that like one of the reasons that you go to the gym is because if you didn't go to the gym you'd be out of shape, and that's like a bad thing. Like you prefer to be in shape than out of shape.
I mean, yeah, wouldn't everyone prefer that? Would you prefer to be breathing or not breathing?
So that's one reason that you go to the gym is because you don't want to be out of shape.
I mean, sure, but I'm just telling you, bro. I'm not separate from the reason. You're trying to dissect me with the reasons. I'm just telling you, there's no distance between me and the reason.
Yeah, I just said that. I wasn't saying that.
I don't know. These are just, in my eyes, these are very strange questions because it's like asking why do you live rather than, and most people just live. They don't really need a reason. They are the reason. You don't need a reason to laugh. You just laugh. If you find yourself dissecting everything, you might have a bigger issue at play.
Oh, I definitely have issues that I need to work on.
Yeah.
Do you have issues?
I mean, everyone has issues, but I don't really care for them. They don't get in my way.
But it would you say issues will eventually get in your way? Otherwise, they wouldn't be issues.
If it got in my way, I'd fix it. And I don't have that issue right now, so.
Alright.
If you can't breathe, you're gonna find a way to breathe, yeah?
Yeah, because if you can't breathe, you'll experience pain.
Sure, I guess, but really it's more like, I just
So you're trying to
prefer to breathe.
avoid the pain of being out of shape.
Not really, bro, I'm just trying to breathe.
Which is,
What?
but you said that one of the reasons that you go to the gym is because you don't want to be out of shape. Like you literally said you don't want to be out of shape.
I mean, yeah, but you don't want to be out of shape for the same reason, you just want to breathe. Because they are the reason. If you think I live in language or something, then this is going to be a very backwards conversation. Because I'm pointing away from language. You're trying to bring it back into language. But language only exists within a narration. I'm not speaking from narration. I'm speaking from what is.
Yeah, like to me, the reason I avoid not breathing is because not breathing is incredibly painful.
I guess that's for you then, but I don't know. I don't really think about it like that.
Physical pain and the pain of not existing and what that could mean. My consciousness.
Yeah, I guess. But let's see. See if I can. hear you NFC, but I meet you. Alright, let me get all my skins. Can I finally claim my final reward? Yes. What is this? You can hear me, let me see.
How often do you go to the gym?
Probably like 3-4 days a week. Just typical schedule. Oh my gosh, why is there 14?
Like a favorite exercise?
Probably pull-ups.
Right.
See that. But yeah, I'm probably gonna join a different call. But yeah, thanks for the chat though. But yeah, actually, no, I might actually get off. Actually, all right, chat.